Hello everybody, this is Make It Better, and today we're doing what if Deku was a swordsman. I forgot what part it is, but I do remember where exactly I left off. Of course you would. But first of all, reason I'm so late is because something happened, another thing happened. I was so tired, and I technically broke down at one point, but you guys don't need to know about that. But let's get back into the story. Zuko was told by Zoro that he has a 2 day off. So it was on Thursday. Thursday and Friday he has his day off to let his body rest. Now I'm going to talk about some other things that has happened during those weeks. Okay, there's nobody here, so why did it fall? But as he this is all about his time, his free time, pretty much in the training camp. For his lunch and dinner, every time he could go sit down with Momo. About on Thursday on the first week, he noticed that Kota is not there. Remembering that Kota and his family and why he's so mad at the heroes, he decided to go and try to find him. He noticed the direction that he usually is last seen, and with his knowledge of tracking, living in the forest, he's easily found Kota up in the mountains. Now that little scene of Kota and Deku talking, but no villains to interrupt, actually gets more easier to a point where Kota finally let go and start crying. Zuko, understanding how terrified he might be, pretty much grabbed onto the kid and said, "It's alright. I'm here. We can talk. All you want." And, well, I'm not really good with this because I'm still need to focus on other stuff. But and Kota's talking about his family, how their quirks are so great, and then he talks to Zuko and asks what's his quirk. Zuko said, "Oh, I thought you heard. I'm quirkless." Kota said, "And you, and you're how you have so much stuff to do for training." And Zuko said, "Oh, you've been watching?" And Kota said, "I can't not see it. The blast is still going." And another of Ayama's nasal laser showing in the sky. And and Kota points at that in the area. And Zuko said, "Yeah, my master teacher, he's pretty tough." And then Zuko hears, "Zuko?" And Zuko look at his watch, see it's past 2 minutes, and said, "Gotta go." And he jumped off. Kota looking at him, thinking he's crazy, jumping off of a cliff this high. Seeing Zuko just landing on a branch and just jumping on each tree like a ninja, all the way towards his master as they met and start talking. This goes on for those weeks, those days, where Momo got curious, and when she asked where he's going for dinner, Zuko told her that he's talking with Kota. So lunch, he eats and talks with Momo. For dinner, he goes with Kota. So that kind of things happen. Now on the second week, on Monday, Zoro brought in his swords for no plot points, and it will help the story. But Zoro pretty much showed him some new other fighting styles he could use, or techniques. Something Zuko have noticed, but he never really focused on it. Zoro told him all the effects, or those lightning strikes. Zoro is saying this. It's coming from the blade, and the blade, it has your soul, your will to fight, the will to always protect. And depending on your will, it could actually become stronger than a quirk. Zuko is just taking all this in a waterfall that's freezing cold as Zoro is talking to him. As Zuko is holding out his blades in a certain position, kind of like an X form. His right sword sticking to his left shoe, kind of like right in front of it, but not sticking into it. And the same on the other side, making an X form. And Zuko is just feeling the vibrations of them just being like that. And he's just thinking back of his mind, what if something hit it? Is he able to deflect, or will it take in the shot? So that runs back in his mind. On Thursday, I'm skipping it all the way to Thursday, Zuko finally has his day off, but instead of actually taking a break, he focused on his training. He focused more on his sword play and showed Koa how strong he can be without a quirk. And Koa is getting more friendship. You know how in an anime, if they're really close, they become brothers with quotation marks, Oni-chans and all that, or senpai. But Kota asked Zuko if he could hold those swords. Zuko said no, these are way too sharp. But when Kota was frowning, Zuko said, "But here, hold this one. It's small enough, and it's technically a sword for you." Yeah. And as Kota was about to grab it, Zuko told him, with his hands, with Kota's hands like real close to the blade hilt. And Zuko said, "Be careful, it's heavy." And Kota in his head saying, "But it looks so small. How can it be?" Ooh! And he dropped down on the floor. Zuko said, "Yeah, it's very heavy." And Kota's trying to pick it up with his two hands and saying, "Oh, you hold this all the time?" And Zuko said, "Yeah, but these are special swords made with special material that's very special." And Kota said, "Are they sharp? Are they? What do you do with them in a fight?" Zuko said, "Well, if they have emitter types like yours and the water hose," he pretty much and said, "Well, if you shoot some water at me, I can show you." And Kota said, "Okay." So he dropped the blade. He dropped the blade and started focusing his uh, water gun, I guess, towards Izuku. Izuku just swipe it, and a clean swipe of two separate sides on the right and left of him. Izuku said, "Also like this," and he stick his sword in the ground and blocking it like a shield. And Izuku said, "And like this." And when he did a swipe up, it pushed the very water back into Koda. Since it was a weak one, it didn't really hurt him. But Koda said, with sparkling eyes, saying, "Whoa, that's so cool." That's all Zuko said. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Now, on Friday, Zuko actually spent more time with Momo. After she's done with her training, and it's around 8, not 8 a.m. p.m., they have their break and enjoy themselves. And Men Zuko decided to give her a present since it's coming is getting real close to their anniversary. No, that won't work. Zuko just randomly wanted to give her a gift. So he gave her a necklace that was more of a sword in hand with. It's kind of like a cross. It's an X that have two swords, and on the side of it, it has a Russian doll. And Zuko said, here. I know it's out of the blue, but. And Momo just takes it, looks at it, opens the box, because it was in a box, and she loves it so much, she says it to Zuko, and she just gives him a big hug. Zuko said, well, I didn't expect this to happen. And Momo let go and said, sorry. And she asked Zuko to put it on for her. She moved her hair, turned around, and Zuko put it onto her. Zuko told her and whispered into her ear, there's something special about this. And no worries, I have one too. And he showed it, and when he's done, he showed it to her, the same thing. Zuko told her what it has, and she said, oh, smart. If any villains ever take them. And Zuko said, yes. Very good. Now, sorry. It's the villain attack. Here we go. Now, they do have the fear, the courage of fear. Courage. Wow, forgot about that too. But the attack happens. Everybody's freaking out. The fire is coming out. Momo's with. Who was it? She with? The same person in canon. I think it was a guy from Class 1B. Yeah. The welder. The welder. He didn't say his name. Did he? Fuck, I don't remember. But that all happens. Zuko, tell Mandalay or whoever that was talking, and telling her that he knows where Kota is. And he ran towards his room, grabbed his swords, and jumped on the trees to get Kota. Kota is still there, looking and seeing that there's fire, and he heard a voice, and he's scared. He never heard this voice, and he never wanted to hear it again. And as Kota is turning around and see this man hulking a figure, asking where asking where the others are, any other kids. But and Zuko said, Kota, duck! And Kota, hearing that, he ducked, and Zuko did a spinning back kick at Muscular, which hit Muscular all the way to the wall. And remember, he has 10% base strength, 50% of using his techniques. Then, sorry, I already had breakfast and lunch and dinner. Okay, where was I? Okay, so this little scene of Zuko punching Muscular hand to hand, saying he might be he has doesn't have a midichlorian, more of a transmutation quirk. So he's fighting him, but over time, Muscular is playing with him. He's just using a little bit of his muscles, not all of it. He's like playing with his food. And as Muscular says, okay, this is too boring. How about I get to the next level? He goes a full punch with all the muscles popping out of his skin, covering his whole body into the, like cannon. Zuko sees this and he prepared for the next hit. And it same thing in cannon. Get pushed back, breaking his arm and hitting him to the wall. Now Musker is now targeting to the kid. As Musker was about to do another punch to the kid, straight down, he got and was stopped by Zuko holding it with his other hand, with his swords, holding it. Since one of his arms are broken, he still can grip. So he's holding it, but he's swinging it like a whip. He held Musker with his right hand, with the sword to fist. And Musker said, "Ah, so those weren't for show. I guess you can use the sword." As he was talking, Zuko cut off one of his tendons on his arm, which the one that he was using to punch, which made him go limp. Zuko now Musker is regrowing it, but it takes longer because it's one of the important parts, not just a muscle. Great. But Zuko is finally cutting through the muscle as Musker is screaming in pain and trying to hit the kid, but the kid is too fast. So Zuko is using the lightning speed and then some of the butterfly attacks to nick each tendon just barely where he doesn't, and for Musker not feel it. It's all to every area behind the feet, behind his knees, in between his hips, and on the elbows, the wrist, and some on the neck. All very small pieces where he doesn't feel it's kind of like a mosquito bite. But Zuko is doing bigger swings with his other arm that's just swinging around since it's broken. He still feels the pain, but he's like cutting in random areas. Musker is just trying to hit him, and Musker said that's enough, and he used all the muscle tense all around him. As big for that was way too strong for him in canon. And Musker finally did fist, one punch in the direction he thinks Zuko will be at, which sadly was right. And he did one hit towards the mountain, and Zuko was hit by Musker. He got hit through the onto the mountain. It looked like he's stuck there, and Musker is just breathing heavily because it was such a thrilling fight. I said, "Kid, you might be the best one I ever had. Sadly, you must die. But first, this kid, with Rick is no one to tell the truth. I can just tell everybody I killed the kid. It won't be the first time." Zuko, getting real pissed at this, is gripping onto his two swords, while Kota, because Musker was about to finish off Zuko, but Kota blasts his water hose to Musker, and Kota saying, "Leave him alone," with tears in his eyes. And Musker said, oh, that's right, you're the kid with that weak parents. They took my eye, so I guess I'll take their son." And Zuko said, and thinks of one more push. One more push. And he breaks out of the wall. Musker is swinging right back at the kid, Kota, this time in full power, because he's not holding back anymore. Zuko sees what's gonna happen and decides to cut off Musker's right arm. And it stops, fell off over the cliff to never be seen. And Musker is screaming in pain that you cut off my arm. What kind of hero would do such a thing? Zuko said, the one that would take your life. Kola, turn around. Cover your eyes, your ears. And Kola does, and but he doesn't close his eyes. He's watching this. Zuko doesn't know this, but Kola is gonna watch. Zuko finally got serious with his one blade still inactive, and he said this: "With this one blade, I will end your life, right here, right now." And Musker said, "Like a hero can ever do such a thing." And Musker covered up the wound with his muscles and started readying up for his other punch. As he swings towards Zuko, he's vanished. Zuko hitting some parts by right around Musker, kind of in a square. Zuko stands right in front of Kola, sees Kola's eyes widen, and Zuko pulling his sword back into its sheath, and that click sound. In the back of it, Musker is falling down with each of his tendons cutting off completely. And Musker is so tired and can't move anymore, passed out. Zuko said, "Don't worry, kid. I didn't kill him. But it will feel like hell when he wakes up. Come on, let's go back home. Let's get back to your aunt." So Izuku is a little more not battle damage as much as Cannon. He still have a broken arm, but not broken legs or anything like that. Now he's going. All these things has happened in Canon where Aizawa is fighting against Dobby, where he's not using his quirk but using his quirk. Everybody else is working on the smoke, the poison gas, and Zuko is taking Koda to Aizawa. To that point, Zuko learns that the Musker was going after, talking about the kids. Some kid with a blast quirk, a bomb quirk, and some girl that has a create that can make metal. The boss seems to like this one. Zuko knows exactly who he's talking about, but kept quiet and had that fight. So he's telling this to Aizawa that the villains are going after two kids, one Bakugo Katsuki and Momo Yadaruzu. And Zuko said, "Hey, here, take Koda. I'm going after tell Mandalay." And Aizawa tell him that everybody has the right to fight back, and he'll take the blame. So all the things have happened to in the same event in canon. Now here we go. This is where it's going to change. Instead of him running into the 8-arm guy, he actually ran in because the 8-arm guy is now with Hajiro, and they're going to do the same thing in canon with Deku. So Hajiro is taking place for Deku. Since they're influenced by Zuko and how brave he is even without a quirk, Togoyami is trying to help out with a Dark Shadow. So that little event has happened to a point where Bakugo is taken by by the heroes and by the villains. Now Zuko actually goes all the way towards Kendo and Tetsu and telling them that the villains are after some kids. "Have you seen the girl with a long ponytail?" And she said, "Yeah, she was over there. She was the one that gave us these masks." And Zuki said, "Okay, where are you guys going?" And she said, "What? Over there, it was thin, but over here it's thicker. So I'm guessing it's only been surrounding by the person that used this quirk. And Zuko said, "Ah, that's very smart. Okay, I'll help." But then she said, "But you can't go through here without passing out." Zuko said, "No worries. My lungs, they're um, they're strong as steel." Tetsu said, "Man, that's manly." But they start running, and Zuko said, and Zuko is ready. He's slicing through the air, making air gaps where he can breathe in and breathe out. And um, the the main villain, and that's in the center, seeing that someone is moving his clouds. Seems like it was some sharp object, but they're coming closer. Feels like 3, maybe 4. And when he was about to point, he saw a blade coming straight towards him, and he ducked, and he shot the shot the gun. But Tetsu hardened and blocked it with his body, protecting Deku. And Tetsu saying, "Dude, you gotta watch out for this." But still so manly. I'm just giving him the same personality as Kaminari. Now, the main villain is focusing on these two, but he feels like something else is in the way, and a big hand coming out of nowhere hit him on the face, kind of like a bitch slap. Kendo is saying, "We got him," but Izuku said, "Hold on, not yet." He get his blade out again and cut off some areas as the guy is trying to run away. But he gets knocked out by Tetsu, ramming him like a bull into the floor. As he got stuck there, um, Kendo did one more hit, slap straight down with Tetsu, knocking out the guy, but Tetsu is still okay. And the dust cloud settles. He's completely disappeared. They comes out. They take off their mask, and Zuko said, "A little longer than I thought." This said, "Dude, you were holding your breath for almost 5 minutes. How are you able to do that?" Zuko said, "Practice." "Okay, let's go." So they're all going towards the main area where they had their rooms. Now the play goes out where Tokoyami is taking down the compress with Dark Shadow, grabbing him on the foot. Dark Shadow is pulling him down towards the ground and slamming him like a rag doll, which made him spit out the 2 balls that was in him. At this point, Zuko grabs onto the balls and sees that it's too, and he tried to crush it, and he did, and it came out a Bakugo. Zuko is asking, "Where's Momo? Where's Momo?" And they have no idea where she is. And Compress comes out and showing them his trick to every magician knows to let the audience think they have one thing, but really with his other hand showing the others in plain sight, and is holding one ball. Izuku is rushing towards Compress, but that little scene of showing him it was too close, but he can get hit with a bunch of blue flames straight towards him. Zuko didn't have enough time to bring out his sword because it was on his left side, the broken arm side, and Zuko just takes in the whole heat. And Zuko he's used to the heat, but it was so much that he can't stand it anymore. But he's still um, now he's running on adrenaline. And Dobby saying, "Oh, so you can handle my flames." Now he's rubbing his hands and making it hotter. I guess spraying out and saying, "I guess I should make it hotter for you." But Kaminari, the portal guy, and pretty much say, "Sir, come on, we must go. We're unwelcome here." And Dobby said, "Fine." But as he was leaving, he actually did another take at Zuko again. More force, but Zuko was able to block it, but he got hit. There's so much force to him, pushing him back into a tree, knocking him out. And they got away. Now, I'm going to end it for this, mostly because my throat is killing me for some reason. But the next part will be talking about what was it? Oh my, against one for all, or all for one, fight. But anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.